Hi everyone, it's great to see you. So over the last few months there's been a number of preview editions of CSP released. That's the full rain edition that you can see here, and this is actually 1.72 running with Sol 2.0. But what I'm going to do today is talk to you and show you how to enable the experimental rain physics. So that means the cars actually drive differently. So this is experimental, but I'm going to show you how to do it, step-by-step guide and tutorial. As ever guys, if you are new here, it's great to see you. And if you do want to come along on the journey, I'd love to have you on board. So click on that subscribe button, and remember guys, if you like the video, clicking on that like button really helps me out with YouTube. Okay then, let's jump in. To begin with then, I'm going to talk about Content Manager, so I'll put the link in the description if you've not got it, but I do know most of you have got Content Manager. The reason I'm showing you Content Manager here is that to do what I'm doing today, you do need the full version of Content Manager. So you can download the light version on this link here, but to unlock the full version, you just need to do any kind of donation, and you can actually do it at the bottom here through PayPal, Visa and Yandex. Now I think you need to do $3 to get the paid for version. That's the minimum, but remember guys, these modders are doing an awesome amount of work for us, and how many times are you using that Content Manager? So please do try and get the full version here, and as I said, you can use all these different ways of doing that. The other way that you can actually get the full version of Content Manager is if you have actually subscribed to Patreon. This is hidden away in the welcome email, but if you do click on the link, you'll see here that you can connect with Patreon. Click on allow, and then this will take you to this download AC Content Manager. Now I've actually put a big black box over my key there, but you can download it here, and then that key there is a Steam key that you can put in to activate your full version of Content Manager. So what is the reason you need the full version for? Well, what we're going to do is unpack some car data, but the first thing we need to do is go into developer mode. So if you click on about, there's a version number here. What you need to do is click on that around 10 times, and a box will pop up to say, do you want to enable developer mode? Just click on yes. So I've already done it, so that's why the box has not come up, but just click on that version number there. Now that we're in developer mode, what we're going to do is go back onto the drive menu, and you're going to press the three little dots there, and you're going to click on opening content tab. That's going to bring you up this more detailed version of this car mod here, Ford Sierra RS500. What a car. And the button that we're looking for is the unpack data button at the bottom here. Before we do anything though, before we play about with the data on this car, in case you're going to go online or you want the original data, what we're going to do is just create a copy of it. So I'm just going to go and find this Ford Sierra here, and I'm just going to actually just right click on it, and I'm just going to copy it and then just paste that onto my desktop, just so I've got the original version there before we do anything. Going then into the Ford Sierra folder, you'll see here that we have a data.acd file, and we don't have a data folder. That's how it should look. Now when we unpack the data, when we go down and press this button, it's going to unpack that data.acd file and give us all of these config files here. So if I just go back up there, you can see we've still got the data.acd, and now we've got a data folder with all the config files in. The next thing to do then, which might feel like the wrong thing to do, but it definitely is the next thing to do, and that is to delete the data.acd file. Now what we're going to do is this data folder here that's got the config files in, we're going to change part of this config, and then we're going to repack the data into a new data.acd. Now what I want you to do next is right click on the car.ini and open with Notepad, and that will bring you up this actual internal config. And what we're going to do is change one line of this config and add a further line in. Now these lines that I'm going to paste in are all in the description below, so you don't need to remember them. So the first one is version equals extended -1, and then what we're going to do is press 2 enters from the end of that line, and then we're going to paste in the second piece. Once that's pasted in, it's a simple case of just clicking file and save. So the lines that we've added in there are actually going to give us the experimental rain physics for the car. So next thing to do is to pack this data up. So you can see we've got no data.acd file at the moment, but if we go down to the bottom here and we click on pack data, it's actually just created there another data.acd. Once it's done that, you can delete the data folder. That's not required anymore. So that's just the leftover of us unpacking the data. Now that's that car done. So that car now is set up with wet physics. So the method that we've done here will work for a lot of the cars, but there are some cars that are actually encrypted. So you cannot use this method on some cars. So I'm just going to show you one here that I think is encrypted. So let's just go and find the Honda S2000 Ap2, one of my favorite cars. So this is a modded car. So if I try to do the same thing here, I'll just go through it. So the three dots, and I'm just going to unpack the data, open it in the right view and unpack the data. And what we're going to do is we're just going to do, you see we've got the data folder there. So we've got the data.acd and we've got the data folder. Now this time I'm just going to do a small experiment, and I'm just going to open the car ini again by right clicking on it. Open it with Notepad, and I'm just going to change one little thing there. I'm not going to put the proper lines of text in there. I'm just going to change one thing and file and save it, and just show you what's going to happen when you try and save this. So we've got another new data folder there. So I've not removed the old data.acd, so I'm going to try and pack in. It says, do you want to overwrite the other one? So I'm just going to say yes, and then it's going to come up with this can't find disk space or not enough disk space, and an oops error message. That's because the file is actually encrypted and you can't use this method on that car. So there is a little bit of trial and error here. So here we are then. So this is the original RS500. I'm driving it around the Nordschleife in the full wet, and as you can see it drives absolutely normal. So this car, even though it looks great outside, is driving with the standard physics. Now we're in the RS500 with the added rain physics on. So the car is feeling very, very different, and I am trying to drive it properly, I do assure you, but this just feels completely different. So I'm aquaplaning, I'm sliding around corners. This actually feels really cool, and you can see on these replays how I'm taking the car sideways around these corners. It is a lot of fun. But remember guys, you do have to trial and error this with different cars. Some it will work, some it won't. It's also worth as well experimenting with different tracks, because you may get different kinds of variations of this effect on different tracks. So trying it on the official KUNOS ones, they've all worked really well with me. Some modded tracks you might not get the same thing. And remember guys, because you've made a copy of the car anyway, the original car, you can always flick backwards and forwards between these cars, and you will need to play on the original one guys if you're going to play online, because of the way that the servers work. So it will not allow you to play online with one of these cars. Do remember guys as well that this is CSP Preview Edition, not the standard editions. So this is 1.72, as I've said, looking gorgeous, but if you've got one of the standard versions you're not going to get the exterior rain, and this won't work for you. As ever, thank you so much for watching, and thank you for all your support. It really means a lot to me, and if you are interested in more Assetto Corsa guides and tutorials, there's lots on the channel. See you later guys.